Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Kahalayim La Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim teaching by the Maya Muhammad. That's a sincerity and truth. It's the brother Yatazak, GMS Dallas, and I just want to do a Lambback off the video you see on the screen. The up and coming elder Benata Zakba. You know what I'm saying? He was going into something that I had been thinking about recently. It was on my spirit a couple of days ago. And I was thinking about different precepts and scenarios to make that point, you know. And now is the time for scriptures like being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove come into play, you see. Because one thing you notice, you see Jake bring it out in a lesson. You see Jake bring it out to cut people or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you got to actually apply these to your life. You know what I'm saying? And the brother was going in on masks and gloves and laws of signs of the times and all those different things, right? So what I want to do is I want to commentate. There was a few things that were said in the video, but I actually did an experiment. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit, with the whole RFID microchip technology being in these cards, soon to be in your hands or your forehead. You know what I'm saying? You can see that technology coming to pass. You know, and so what I did is I went out today, made a couple stops with my gloves, with my mask, just to show you this is the world that we live in. You see what I'm saying? This is the world we live in. Whether you believe in the scriptures or not, you know what I'm saying? Whether you a conspiracy theorist or whatever, you see what's happening and you having to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you believe, you have to make adjustments to how the world is being ran at this time. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this video, and I'm gonna show y'all. I recorded myself. Talking to the brothers about what this looks like. You know what I'm saying? So when you see wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, and agree with our adversary quickly, you seeing how that looks when you apply it to your daily life. You know what I'm saying? Because it can sound good when you're reading about the Lord, but if you coming in the same stead and you're going to have to deal with the same things, then the times that he was wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, was for the times that he was living during that time. So how much more do you apply that to yourself? You're going to have to see what wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove means. And it's the topics, it's the theme of every movie you like. You know what I'm saying? When you see all these movies where dudes got to go in disguise and do all these different elaborate things just for the goal to be accomplished, well, it's the same thing. They being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You watch all them Tom Cruise movies and Will Smith and all them dudes, they being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove throughout the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? Just being in the particular time that they in the movie. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense, Lord willing, this will be edifying. But yeah, let's get into it.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 8, verse 8.
Let me slow this thing down.
Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully lit. This lesson is going to be entitled, Follow the Laws of the Land Until You Can. Okay?
I'm saying follow the laws of the land until you can't. You see? And that's when, and you notice when the Lord was teaching the disciples, he was going in all those different parables, but it was going to it made sense for the times that they was living in. Like Ariella always goes into how during the time of Acts, the apostles were under the threat. They were under the threat of imminent death all the time. You see, but it was a build up to that point. You see, we building up to the point to where we are going to be under the threat of imminent death, but it's a process. You see, we in the process of this microchip being introduced in different ways, you know what I'm saying? Mostly through convenience. And eventually it's going to progress according to the scriptures into a physical thing to where it's either take it or not. You see? But we living in that buildup. You see, people always want to say, well, what about this and what about that? And you said it was going to happen. No. We're talking about the buildup. Wars and rumors of wars. The rumors of wars are here. We in that time. So that's what it is. You see?
And just a quick lesson. And I could have easily went live and filmed this. But I'm noticing that sometimes not going live is better, because you brothers out there, you young brothers out there, and you sisters, and all you new believers, you need to listen. Don't be on trying to post scriptures, right? I mean, that's good that you do that. But you need to listen. Sometimes you just need to listen, okay? And you need to listen to what's coming out right here lately. Now, the elders of Great Millstone, the apostles, put out an order today that the brothers that's in the camps is teaching, right? You got to follow the laws of whatever is set up in your city, in your area.
God, and this is the point. This is the point that where the brother sparked my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just getting ready to get up and leave the house as I was watching this video. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, yeah, it totally makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The times that we living in is the time that we've been warning people about. And we go into precepts like agree with our adversary quickly. You know what I'm saying? Following the laws of the land, like in Romans 13. You know what I'm saying? These scriptures need to be applied. Bottom line, man. Bottom line. Whether you can argue and cut people and do all that, look, get the understanding about the scripture. Be able to apply it to your life. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that the disciples and all our forefathers handled themselves, it was according to the scriptures, man. You see? And when they had to run, they had to hide, they had to go through all these different things that is prophesied that we gonna have to do. You see? But why have to run if you don't have to run? You know what I'm saying? If your baby, if you got to get out to the store and your kid's crying, you know what I'm saying, because they hungry and you got to get out there, you ain't gonna be talking all that tough shit about not wearing no mask and all that. You gonna do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, if you go out there without your mask, you know what I'm saying? That's going to cause problems. You see? If you wear the mask, they're going to leave you alone. If you don't wear the mask, you're going to draw attention to yourself, man. Then you're going to rebel and resist and all that. That's what I'm saying. Then it can't nothing good come from that, man. You see?
All right, you got this pandemic going on. And you brothers, if you're going out on the highways and hedges, even if you're in your personal life, when you go out in the public, don't be trying to be rebellious. If the people tell you to wear masks and gloves to go in the store, then do it. Particularly you brothers in your camps, when you go out to teach, don't try to be a super Hebrew Israelite, okay? If the law of the land says wear the mask and gloves even while you're out among people, even if you have to put a scarf around your face, do whatever it is you're supposed to do. Don't try to make a point, okay? Don't try to be rebellious. Now I'm going to read real quick here. Let me break away from this. And you also had another order that came out last week. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was last week. It was Saturday. And it says that every brother, the heads of the camps, before any videos are uploaded, from the fourth in command on down, the videos are to be scrutinized. First, brothers need to check to make sure that it's edifying. You brothers out there making videos.
We can get back to that. But what the brother was going into about not being rebellious and wearing the gloves and all that, if that's what the law requires, you know what I'm saying? Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's type of situation. You see? You're not doing it. I would say you're not doing it because you scary or weak or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just being wise. If everybody out there got a mask on except you, that's like a red ketchup stain on a white shirt. You know what I'm saying? You can't miss it. It's gonna bring attention. You see? So what's the point of bringing attention if you don't need to? Especially in the times that we in, man. They already limiting the times that you can be out. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get caught up in the limited time that you can be out. Look, man, handle your business. Get back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But This is a video of me just speaking to the brothers about my experience today. I went to the post office. I went to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? I had my gloves, my mask on the whole time. You know, all up in the post office with my glasses fogging up. And look, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So now you might as well want to get adjusted to it if that's the case. Because, hey, who knows how long we're going to have to do this shit, man.
Hey man, I locked into the spirit, man, while I'm on this run, you know what I'm saying? I'm halfway through this run, you know what I'm saying? We not on lockdown like that, you know what I'm saying? But we know it's coming, so getting adjusted to these times, you know what I'm saying? You just do, you know, you just do what you can do, see what it's like. And I'm working from home already, right? So now I have left the house to make a run to the post office and stop by the grocery store to get a couple things, you know what I'm saying, while I'm out. Because the smarter thing to do is to, you know what I'm saying, pick up little by little, you know what I'm saying, the times you can get out instead of trying to go big time, you know what I'm saying, all in one whop, you know. It's just from this small time that we've been doing it, from my experience in this world, what's happening right now, it makes more sense to go out little by little. Go out and get little by little as you go. You know what I'm saying? Right? Scripture say that a wise man understand the times that he's in. You see? So just I'm making 2 stops and then I'm going right back to the house. You know what I'm saying? Stopped at the post office. You know what I'm saying? Got my gloves, right? Got my mask. Bro, everybody in the post office has on gloves and a mask, and the order haven't even went out yet. You know what I'm saying? So you just seeing how people responded to it, which, you know, it is what it is, you know. At the end of the day, whatever you believe is whatever you believe. You still got to protect yourself, period, point blank. So even people that don't know nothing about the truth are taking caution to the wind, you know. So now I got to go to the store after this, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, the last time I went in the store, they actually have somebody standing at the entrance with disinfectant spray. They spray down the baskets and give them to you. You don't even walk up and get your own basket no more, so that's new. Limits on what you can get and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I'm just locking in at the post office. You know what I'm saying? I put my chip reader in the card because my card got the chip in it. Got the RFID microchip. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why this polo is so long is because I'm pretty sure I talked to Bakwasha about putting something together with this. But yeah, I would love to hear you brothers' thoughts as well. You know what I'm saying? Because the world we live in, the world that we live in. See, look, check this out. Hey, you ain't gonna get to see it. You ain't gonna get to see it. But yeah, the lady that just got up out the car, she got her mask and gloves on. You know what I'm saying? Walking all fast and shit. You know what I'm saying? But we always talk about how we living out the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? The prophecy said that it's gonna come a time to where this chip was gonna be a huge factor. You know what I'm saying? We living that with these chip readers and all that. You insert your card. You know, now we got masks on. You know what I'm saying? Social distancing and all these different things. So you starting to see what the scriptures have been saying, because you have to equate it to these times. You see in the microchip technology come to pass. That's why you see these groups now. The other Israelite groups, they more quiet on it. You see, they more quiet on it now. They'll try to throw a little jab out there. It ain't this, or it's this, or you got these, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We hypocrites, we this, we that. But all these things still happening. All these things are still happening. You know what I'm saying? So we starting to see that come to pass. And when the apostles and elders filter the news through the scriptures, that's the way it comes out, man. You see? Because somebody's got to be able to point these things out in the times that we're living in. And it just so happens to be the apostles of Great Millstone through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's the will of the Heavenly Father, is for the truth to come through a group of men that everybody are going to despise, just like they did the Lord. It's all in the scriptures. It's all in the scriptures. So, having said that, we seeing how how this thing is going to play out. You know what I'm saying? Step by step. So now, what's that, Revelation 13, where it say, at the last of the chapter, it said, "Let him with understanding count the number of the beast." So you know what I'm saying? All that mocking and scoffing and all that talking trash and all that's done came to a minimum. You see, that's come to a minimum at this point. You see, and what they doing is they getting out the way. They doing what they got to do for their congregation and to save face and all that. But at the end of the day, the leaders of these groups, they sitting back waiting to see what the apostles and elders of a great millstone are going to tell them through the Spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's actually happening. So, it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride, man. Beautiful times we living in. Why not embrace the moment, man? You know what I'm saying? Now, when it come to taking the chip and doing all that, now that's a whole nother ballgame. You know what I'm saying? That's when the money on the table. That's where your deliverance is at stake. My deliverance ain't at stake going to the post office to drop off a couple change to some brothers, because we can still do that. You know what I'm saying? We still able to maneuver and function. You know what I'm saying? It's getting tighter and tighter. But at the end of the day, man, you're going to have to deal with what the society is bringing. We all
right, and that's the point the brother was going into, man. You see, now ain't the time when Jake gonna be on the run and all those different things like in the time of Acts. It's in the build up. You seeing things progressively get tighter and tighter and tighter, and then it's gonna force the people to rebel. But it's not gonna be an overnight thing. You see, so now, put like if you get locked up right now over this coronavirus stuff, you're not in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got locked up because you was out there being rebellious and you wanted to do you. You know what I'm saying? The spirit of the Lord you're gonna be well in tune with the spirit of the Lord in that time. You see, you got when you come into the truth, you don't stop paying bills. I mean, some people do, and then the end don't come. They realize they gotta snap it to a Slim Jim. But we've been talking about this technology coming and how it's gonna be phased in according to the scriptures, and that's how they've been doing it. It's been done in subtlety. It's been done in deceit. It's been done in guile. You know what I'm saying? They've pushed it as convenient. They make it make sense. You see, now you're seeing more talk about it, more talk about it, more talk about it, and more action on it, and more action on it, and more action on it. You see, and you got to keep in mind, man, that you living out what's being read, man. So for all those people that think that you don't know that you a false prophet because it didn't happen on a certain date, then they obviously ain't in the spirit of what's going on. So don't even worry about all that. But we've been telling the spirit of the Lord through men has been telling y'all that these times are gonna come to pass, and you see in them here. All right, now let's get let me see. Let me get my blue letter. All right. Wise, harmless. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. See, the parables that the Lord was describing and that he was going into, being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. That's how they will say the word Yaiquab, supplant. You know what I'm saying? Being wise as a serpent, meaning you have the understanding of how to deal in a situation, but being harmless as a dove, not overexerting or you know what I'm saying, showing that you don't understand. You see, when you wise as a serpent, you have that understanding of a situation, right? Everybody like to use wise as serpents, harmless as doves when you dealing with the cops or dealing with a mechanic or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You can use that on the highway, man. You know what I'm saying? You can be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove on the highway. You know what I'm saying? Let the dude go and get over, man, if it's all like that. You know what I'm saying? Harmless as a dove. You let him get over. Why? Because you're wise enough to know that if you challenge this dude over a car length on the highway, that can cause all kind of problems for you and him. You being prudent. You looking ahead. You see? Being wise as a serpent, right? Understanding the situation, and harmless as a dove, how you handle the situation. You see? Turning the other cheek. Turning the other cheek don't mean let somebody slap you on both sides. Turn the other cheek. You see? You see two homosexuals. You know that according to the law, they should be judged harshly. You know what I'm saying? But you don't live in a society where it's gonna happen. So you turn the other cheek by minding your own business. Because if you get into an argument or get into a fight with them, you gonna be the one that's gonna pay for that. You see? So knowing not to even put yourself in that position, in that position, is being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, man. And these are the times for us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So it would be wise to wear a mask if they tell you they're gonna lock your ass up if you don't wear a mask. Like, come on, man. You see? And if you're in a situation where you don't feel like you want to wear your mask, at least have a mask with you so you can avoid that confrontation, man. You see, we living in the times now to where you're not guaranteed to come back to the house if you leave, especially if you're gonna be out of pocket and doing what you want to do. You know. All right. This is Matthew 10:6. It says, matter of fact, let me go up a couple verses. No, I'm just gonna get to the point. This is Matthew 10:16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." Right? "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues." See, you see that? You see that? So if you wise as a serpent because you already know this. You see? You know that it's going to be men that's going to deliver you up to councils and scourge you in their synagogues. So when you around those men, you're going to act accordingly so you don't have to deal with that. You see? That's what that's mean. That's the example. You see? Now is the time to utilize this wisdom that we've been getting from the spirit and power Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai through the apostles and elders. You know what I'm saying? For the past 10, 11, however many years you've been here. You know what I'm saying? On down to the people that's new. You see? All these precepts and all these scriptures that built your faith up to make your life a living sacrifice. Now it's time to use them so that you can survive in the time that you're in. Because we've been prophesying about the end times. We in the end times. So now it's time to use all those things that we were talking about. You see? It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. You see that? It said we're gonna be brought for the name of Yahweh's sake, man. See, for Yahweh's sake, we're gonna be brought to the nobles, and we're gonna be brought to the judges. You see? Now ain't that time. We building up to it. You see? If you get locked up due to the ministry, then it is what it is. Cool, that's a part of your walk. But if you get locked up just because you was out there being radical and not being wise as a serpent or harmless as a dove, then that's something completely different. And we have to understand the difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? If they say you can't go out to preach, then you stay in and preach. You know what I'm saying? If they, you know what I'm saying, you got to deal with it for what it is. You see? In each state is different. You know what I'm saying? If the brothers in Cali can't go out, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to go out just because they saw the brothers in Boston go out. Well, Boston still go out. Boston under a whole different set of laws. You see? So you have to deal according to where you are and what time you in. We all in the time of the world, it could go either way. You see? It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake. That's what it's building up to the point to where they're going to be locking us up for preaching this word. You see, right now we still have the liberty to preach it, whether it be indoors or outdoors. You see, you have to recognize what time you're in. You can still go out on the highways and byways right now in certain places. In the places that you can't, hey, pump them lessons out. Get on the link up with brothers and do it online. You know what I'm saying? If they cut the internet off, then you'll know. You know what I'm saying? We just rolling with the punches. You see? But the prophecy still stand. We just living out the lead up. You see? It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you that same hour what ye shall speak. See, so it's gonna come a point in time when you are in front of the judges, when you are in front of the governors, that the Lord gonna take over. He gonna put his words in your mouth. You see, we building up to that. See, right now I can still shake my hand and get in Esau and do all that right now. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna come a point in time to where I'm gonna be actually in front of them. Lord willing, I'm one of those men. You see? And with the zeal that I have right now, I pray that it be increased 100-fold when I'm in front of the judges and the governors. Why? Because I've been preparing myself this whole time. You see?
None of those short clips where you just, it's just folly or something that Esau is doing. Make sure your video is edifying. These are things that have been coming through the Spirit, so you need to listen. Pay attention and listen. This is Revelation 2:29. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. If you're in Great Millstone and you're part of one of the camps, or even if you're an up-and-coming follower, believer, and you're being taught by us, that institutes or that signifies you're a part of the church. Revelation 3:6. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. The lessons that's coming out from brothers, the orders that's coming out through the apostles, elders, and the lessons coming out from the brotherhood is the Most High speaking. Listen.
That's what I'm saying, and the brothers on point with that, man. Cause see, at the end of the day, man, it's all about being worthy at the end. And it started at the beginning of your walk, man. Once you believe and you put your hand to the plow, you believe or whatever it is, from that point on, you are preparing yourself for salvation. And you listening, man. You listen, you taking the advice. Just like what these sports teams, like some teams got a good coach, like Bill Belichick and the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Whatever his system is that he got in place, it works. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the trash teams and the sorry teams, you know what I'm saying, who always bottom feeding, and you just never expect them to win. You see? The leadership, and when you look at the leadership for both situations, the leadership that's my own point is the one that's going to be successful. You see? You got groups telling you that you ain't got to worry about this and you ain't got to worry about all these things that you telling people they ain't got to worry about are happening. You see? They jobs is telling them that they gonna have to vaccinate. They jobs is telling them that they gonna have to lay them off. But you telling them don't worry. You telling them don't worry while their house is crumbling around them, but you chilling. The scriptures talk about it was gonna be that. So the leadership that you under and who you listen to, you know what I'm saying, is detrimental to your salvation. So if you are saying that you following a certain group, whether it be Apostles of Great Millstone or IUIC and Nate and IUSUP, whoever you follow, listen to them. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know? And the men that's going to come from up under that, look, not my spot, not my lot, not even what this lesson is about. But at the end of the day, man, your leadership, if you don't trust your leadership, man, it is what it is.
Listen, don't always be so quick to want to put a comment, to want to, say something, right? Like Elder Apostle Gabar said, and I got to quote it, a wise man has something to say, but a foolish man has to say something.
That's right.
Okay? Listen again. Revelation 3:13. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Revelation 3:22. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Do twice as much listening as talking. When you hear something coming out, you got to look at the Spirit behind it, not just the flesh. Don't look at flesh. Look at the Spirit behind it.
All right, come on. I'm going to move ahead a little bit.
Why? Through the Spirit. Even back during the old days, during the times of when the Israelites was in the wilderness, they had leaders and captains and, captains over 10s, captains over 20s. You had officers and whatnot. You always had leadership and a structure there. Don't try to act like you just here. You just an Israelite. Nobody don't tell you what to do. But you know what? If nobody don't tell you what to do with your rebellious ass, don't come around us, man. If you can't be put in order, because the scriptures say let all things be done decently and in order. If you don't want to be in order, don't come on our videos. Don't ask us no questions. Don't bother with us, man. You don't want to come under the established order. You don't want to obey this, acknowledge that somebody's over you. Then why you here then? Just do your own thing. Teach your own self. Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. What does that mean? Submit yourselves. You look it up.
Yeah, submit, man. Being under the rule of somebody, man. You see? And that's the thing, man. You'll apply the scriptures to your job. You know what I'm saying? You'll submit to your supervisor who got the rule over you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like them or not, you'll submit to the rulership. It's the same thing here, man. You see, and it ain't about being liked. You know what I'm saying? But as a matter of fact, that's what I'm saying. I done been among the apostles and the elders. You know what I'm saying? And just like Manasseh Bible was saying, man, it's order. It's order. You know what I'm saying? And we follow that same order because we see that they follow the order of the scriptures. You see? That's why we don't have no problem. That's why we don't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? They give great advice. They done been through all the different things that we done had to go through. Now we at the age to where we judge in situations. You see? And it's a product of the scriptures, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai set it up for you to obey the men that have rule over you. That's the way the Lord set it up. And in turn, everybody get to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? You got men that despise order, but just because they Israelites, eventually all Israel gonna be saved. You see, the Lord made up enemies for the gospel's sake, man. But that's what I'm saying. Having to obey the men that have rule over you, people have a problem with that because they don't have a thorough understanding of it, man. You see, it pleases Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai when He sets up a man to guide you and you follow him. Period.
Why? For they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable unto you. We are accountable. We're trying to watch out for you the best we can. If you call men elders and apostles and big brother this and elder that, right, when an order come out that you don't like or you're not that comfortable with, you got to go by it anyway.
And then the thing is, who cares if you don't like the order? You know what I'm saying? If you put enough trust in a man to follow him, you got to put enough trust in that man to know that the Lord is leading his steps. If you don't agree with it, that's fine, but you might not get the understanding on it until later. It just is what it is. You see? But just like the brother saying, you roll with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they get up there and tell you to eat pork or do something that you know is against the law, you know what I'm saying? Then fine. You see? You got groups out there telling people take the vaccine. But the men of the Lord are telling you, nah, we're going to trust in the Lord. We're not going to take the vaccine. It's a difference between the two, just period. You see? And if they can come up with a good enough argument for you to be like, man, they do sound like, you know, I might go on to take it. Then it is what it is. You see?
Right? The Most High said it. Things will be done on earth as it is in heaven. How are things done in the heavens? Complete order. You got archangels, you got regular angels, you got destroying angels, you got, you know, righteous spirits, evil spirits. You got the Most High. You got Yahweh Shai. Then you got Satan and the rest. I don't know exactly how the order is after the Most High and Yahweh Shai, but however it is, complete order. It's the same thing in the truth. We ain't just a bunch of just loose socks in the drawer with no leaders. We have leaders. Right. The Most High gave you leaders. Listen to them without all the extra stuff.
I say Jeremiah 3:15. The Lord said, "I will give you pastors after my own heart." If you don't believe that, then it is what it is. That's one thing y'all fail to realize. We believe these scriptures, man. We believe what the scriptures say. So we don't have no problem following the line with them once we have that understanding. Once the understanding has been unlocked within us and we understand what the scriptures is saying, then we adjust it. We adjust our lives according to the scriptures, man. You see?
Okay. Let's go on. I'm going to read it again. Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. I ain't listen to no man. No man do what he do. Well, don't come on our comment board. We don't need to know you exist. You don't want to follow order. You don't want to be obedient to somebody. You don't want to report to somebody. You don't want to check in. We don't need to know you exist. Because why should we care? Obey them that have the rule over you and submit. Make waves, right? You want to make a big splash and be noticed. You're going to get cut off, and the Most High is going to allow it to happen. Because you've been given clear instruction what to do, what not to do. Right? Check before you do everything. Pray before you do everything. Don't just do it. The scriptures say what? How's it said? Make not haste in time of... I'm going to have to go and grab that real quick.
I want to say the scriptures say that man's goings are of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And what's that? Job 33. where it goes into how the Lord seal your instructions while you're asleep. You know what I'm saying? When you pray to the Heavenly Father, man, you can ask him to reinforce them instructions, man. You know what I'm saying? Lord, what did you want me to do today? Just straight up, man. You know what I'm saying? You should have that. You should feel you have that relationship, man. If you feel that the Lord is directing your steps, you can make sure you get it right. You know what I'm saying? That's why the brother, like the brother saying, the apostle say, look, just check in, man. We done seen brothers that was teaching what they wanted to teach, and they ain't heard no more, man. And come to find out what they thought they found in the scriptures wasn't true, and now they gone. You see, we done seen that happen. The apostles told us those things were gonna happen. We saw it happen. Now we telling you brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's dudes out there that's gonna come in, they're gonna be on fire, then all of a sudden they're gonna fall off, they're gonna start teaching what they want to teach. We done seen it happen. The scripture said it, the apostle said it, we saw it, we convinced. I mean, shit.
Matter of fact, I only got it in front of me here. You can bring it up here real quick. Just grab this. Your brothers, bear with me here. Right? Just like we've always done. You got to play ball in order to get this done. Your mission, your goal is to preach the word, to teach the word, to try to find the elect. Try to help seal the elect, right? So you, by all means, the main focus is preaching the word. If they say you being too loud, quiet down a bit. Right?
That's right.
Be smart. Don't act like when you preach.
That's what agree with our adversary quickly mean. You know what I'm saying? As long as it don't hinder the word, you know what I'm saying? You can let that person make their complaint or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, as long as I don't got to stop preaching, I'll preach a little bit lower. I'll lower my voice to preach. That's what I'm saying. It's a progression. You went from lifting your voice like a trumpet. You know what I'm saying? You went from lifting your voice like a trumpet on the streets to whispering in the house, because that's a progression of the time that you in. You see?
The word that spit don't come out, because it does. And they're saying this is what helps transmit that disease, that virus, as it were. So make sure you cover up.
And I say right now, would you rather preach with a mask or not preach at all? I would rather preach with the mask. You know what I'm saying? And then once it comes, whatever the next phase is after that, we're going to have to go from glory to glory, from hassle to hassle. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? All things, it's indicating that we at the end, though. So it's beautiful.
If necessary. If you can't do that, retreat to a quiet place. Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. You being unruly, you being disobedient, you're going to get cast into prison. Then you're going to look for men to help you get out. Then you're going to start lying and trying to say, oh, well, this happened. They did it unjustly. Nothing happens for no reason. Be wise. I'm going to read it again. Agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him. Who's the adversary? Esau. You know it before you go out there. He gave you clear rules and patterns to follow. It's a chess game. I got to say it. The shit ain't checkers. It's chess, man. The Most High is the master chess player. Let him use you, in a good sense, instead of you being the example of what not to do. Don't do that. Agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and he works for the adversary, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and he works for the adversary, and thou be cast into prison. Now all these are being used by the Most High for one purpose or another. He's got the power. If you get out of line, he's going to use that power to get you off the planet, man, and to leave behind you a memorial of what not to do, a memorial of foolishness. And we don't want to have to make lessons about you, but we'll.
God, that's what I'm saying, man. And we report on the things that we see. We report on the things that we see, man. The things that the scriptures told us to look out for. We seeing them. So you act accordingly, man. So the leadership that from Yahweh Shai through the apostles and elders on down, through those men, you know what I'm saying? The instructions is coming out. You see? Just like I said earlier, turn the other cheek don't mean let somebody hit you on both sides of your jaw so you can go to heaven. Turn the other cheek is talking about now. That's what I'm saying. Even though you don't want to wear a mask, you turning the other cheek by wearing that mug, man. It is what it is, man. That's the time you live in. So that's what I'm saying. You gonna let your family starve because you don't want to be in the store with a mask, or you gonna put the mask on and go to the store and get some damn groceries, man. It's just that simple, man. And that's what the Lord was telling the disciples, man. Look, this is how you handle yourself amongst these people. You see, we sheep amongst wolves, man. So the sheep got to wear the mask right now. Why? Because the wolves gonna try to devour them if they don't. It is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? And showing that we can handle ourselves now is what's gonna put us in the position when the Lord does, when the shit does hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? We've been prepared now. We being prepared now. So when that time comes, the knowledge and wisdom is gonna be the stability of that time. You see, the times keep changing, man, and you got to change with them and stay in the spirit in the process.
Do it if we have to. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13. Very severe, serious warning. Listen. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Right? There was another horse that was red, and power was given unto him to take peace from the earth. This is the same guy. Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault. Let me read it again. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. It's already set up. You know it's a trap. They're watching you.
Bruh, this might be a kicker for y'all. When Peter denied the Lord them 3 times, that was a wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove situation. Whether you believe it or not, just for the simple fact that if he would have fought for the Lord the way he planned to in his mind, he would have died with the Lord. We wouldn't have no head of the church. You know what I'm saying? So even though Peter looked bad in that one moment, you know what I'm saying? When the cock crew, when he looked bad for that moment, that was the will of the Heavenly Father being done just so that he could be the head of the church. You know what I'm saying? He was smart enough to know that he didn't want to die right then. You know what I'm saying? And he was wise enough that even though that he lied, you know what I'm saying, he was wise enough to conceal his identity to be able to get out of there. He didn't even know that that was the reason why until later, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Just me speaking as a man on behalf of Peter. You know, he had to look back at that moment to realize what I'm saying now. But that's what happened. If he would have fought for the Lord the way he wanted to in his mind, he wouldn't have been the head of the church because he wouldn't have been alive. You see? But the wisdom that he had, he had to Yaquab that thing. He had to supplant his way out the situation. You see? And we living in those times where we gonna have to do that. Even if you do, it will say you can't look. You can wear the mask and the gloves, and they'll still mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't saying that the mask and gloves is gonna save you. We just saying if they can avoid a situation, then it is what it is. But if a situation arises, the Lord's still gonna look out for you, man, because He ain't gonna put nothing on you can't handle. You see? That's what these precepts mean, man. See?
They're waiting for you to do something. They say certain keywords and they do certain things just to see what you're going to do. Don't be always reactionary. Sometimes wait, right? And you might notice that the live streams might, slow down a little bit. I'm saying as far as on my end, we'll see. It's all through the Spirit. You see? But more listening needs to be done. Instead of trying to click on scriptures that look like you know, do you know what the scriptures mean? Or are you just posting them? Listen.
Because you can want your precept to come out so bad that you will miss the lesson, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you like this, man. When the brother cut the camera on, he already got precepts. He don't need none. You know what I'm saying? But through the Spirit, you know what I'm saying, you add to the conversation. But look, if you putting up more precepts than the speaker, then you ain't listening to the speaker.
He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the churches. Let me read this one again, and then we'll close it out. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault. Watch your step, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. This is a spiritual battle. Which spirit is influencing you, Satan or the Most High? If the spirit of Yahushua, the Holy Spirit is on you, as you think it is, then you're going to do what he said do. Obey them to have the rule over you, follow the laws of the land, right? Until you can't, until they ask you to go against what's written in the book. But if
Beautifully said, man. Beautifully said. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to all the brothers that's out here teaching and preaching, man. You know what I'm saying? Call all Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for the men of the Lord, man. With that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim teaching about the mind, why, mouth. That's in sincerity and truth. Shalom.